So the biggest and most controversial change in Update 14 for Hell Let Loose has been, of course, the sprint speed adjustment. So the sprint speed has been increased by 15%, which doesn't sound like a lot on paper. And initially when I was playing Update 14, I couldn't really tell if it was faster or not. Maybe like a little bit faster, but not like a lot. But the more I played it, yeah, I could definitely tell there was a difference. And yeah, this change has had a lot of pushback from the community. A lot of people saying they're not going to play Hell Let Loose again because of this speed change. A lot of people saying it's totally unrealistic, this sprint speed, based on you being a guy in war. Other people saying it's pretty much Battlefield or Call of Duty. Well, in a previous video I did of my early impressions for Update 14, I basically put this update of Hell Let Loose side by side with Battlefield 2042 in a 100-meter sprint, and Battlefield 2042 was like 4 to 5 seconds quicker than Hell Let Loose. So what I'm going to do now is put Hell Let Loose as it is now against its previous sprint speed. Now, because I'm a bit of an idiot sometimes, I forgot to record a 100-meter sprint before the update landed. So what I did is I've mathed it pretty much. So we know that the sprint speed has been increased 15%, but I can't just lower the speed of the footage down by 15% because let's say if the old sprint speed was just 100, doesn't matter what, just 100, and it's been increased 15%, which would go to 115. But if you lower that 115 by 15%, it wouldn't be right. So mathing it, pretty much lowering it by 13.04% gets us pretty much dead on back to 100. So I've lowered the speed of the original Hell Let Loose footage by 13.04%, and let's see what it looks like. So over a 100-meter sprint, Update 14 is about 4 seconds faster than Hell Let Loose. Now, people are saying it is quite a significant change, this sprint speed increase. So 4 seconds, I mean, yeah, that is a significant change. But that would also mean that it's still a significant way away from Battlefield. So it's no way sort of close to it. But let's go one step further. I'm going to compare a 100-meter sprint now in Update 14 Hell Let Loose to Arma 3, Squad, and Postscriptum. 3 games that are definitely more hardcore or realistic or milsim-like than Hell Let Loose. Because we know Hell Let Loose, it is not a milsim, it is not a realistic shooter, it's a blend of like a hardcore or realistic game with a more casual game. It does fit like right in between the casual games like Battlefield and Call of Duty and the really hardcore games like Arma or Squad. So let's see which one is the fastest. So, yeah, Hell Let Loose has a slower sprint speed than games that are more hardcore and more realistic than it. So for Hell Let Loose to be classed more like a realistic shooter, it needs to have its sprint speed increased even more. You could argue that these other games I've compared it to have a stamina system, so you can sprint at a faster pace for a short period of time, then you need to sort of stop or go slower to get your stamina back, or in Postscriptum you can drink some water to increase your stamina regeneration rate because that's how water works. So yeah, you could say that the stamina balances out the sprint speed, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that these 3 more realistic and hardcore games have a faster sprint speed than Hell Let Loose, and people are complaining about the sprint speed and Hell Let Loose, saying it's too fast. when it's actually slower than the games that are more realistic than it. Well, what? And there's people saying that they won't play Hell Let Loose because the game's too fast when it's slower than everything else. What? Now, I can understand if people do just generally don't like the sprint speed increase compared to what it used to be, because, yeah, of course, it is faster, it's slower than everything else, but it's different. You know, it is a big different change for the game. And yeah, even just over 100 meters, it's a significant increase. So you sort of spread that out across running a lot further than 100 meters. And yeah, it is going to be quite a bit faster. And this isn't the first time that Hell Let Loose has changed its sprint speed. Before, like say pre-update 14, I think again it was maybe a little bit faster, and then they slowed it down. So they brought it back, you know, a little bit faster or significantly faster with this 50% change. And the feedback about the previous sprint speed generally was it's too slow. I never really heard people to say that it was a good sprint speed or it's perfect or it doesn't need to be changed. Generally, people were just saying it's slow, and now they've made it faster. It's now too fast, but still being slower than the more hardcore realistic game. Changing the sprint speed doesn't make Hell Let Loose a bad game at all. It's no way close to Battlefield or Call of Duty. Well, I can't confirm about Call of Duty because I'm not going to reinstall Warzone or something onto my system because I don't want another virus. But generally, I think the sprint speed is a good adjustment they've made. Maybe they could drop it by maybe 5% for the standing sprint speed. I think that would be okay. Maybe if you guys watching this video, if you think the sprint speed is too fast now, dropping it by another 5%, would that be alright? Or 7.5%? So there's literally like the middle ground. Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about what you've seen in today's video. Give the video a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.